Yes. So now there is something again that you mentioned somewhere. Mm, your son gets a D in religious studies. Are you okay with it?
Yes.
Yeah. So tell us something about religion, existence of God, etc. And
Okay.
yes, and also how we exist in this part of the world, and why we suffer the way we suffer, and why the West, the Americans on the other side, and the Europeans
All
are
right.
better off.
So for me, as someone who has exited religion, I'm not going to defend myself. I'm not going to say, "Oh, I did not leave God. I leave the church." Oh, so you didn't. No, as someone
Yes.
who's exited religion,
Yes.
I don't think I see its importance in the way that it is packaged. Because first of all, religion in Africa, it has Africans. Um, it has really impeded our development. There's a man that I deeply, deeply revere, and I know he's brilliant, and people know he is brilliant. He knows he's brilliant. And every day I see him, whenever he does things, it's like, oh yeah, God is the one who made me do this. I'm like, no, that's you. That's all you. And I know you're going to say, no, but God is the one who has given him the intelligence. So
And the brilliance.
and the brilliance. And those of us
Yeah.
who don't have the brilliance, so
So maybe it's the same God who has denied us.
yes, so God denied us the intelligence. So why? Why were we denied intelligence and he was given intelligence? And look at how it is making him make money globally renowned. And those of us that were denied intelligence, what was our fault? So you see, I'm not discrediting the existence of a higher intelligence. What I'm saying is that how we put God in Africa is that we dismiss process.
Sure.
So we have been trained by religion because religion trains you in miracles. It trains you in instant. That's why creation is instant. Let there be a sun. Let there be a. There's no process for a moon to become. There was no process for the earth to become. There's no process for human beings to become. Human beings were just made, and then there was a human being who was grown and had grown things on him.
They've been given instructions.
Yes, and given instructions, and he's given something, and he's given dominion. All of a sudden, there was no process to it. And that's how we come into religion. But when we look at life, and that is why we sit and we're like, okay, God will remember me. There's a queue. So today it is Wabs, tomorrow it is me. I will clap for words until it's my time. Which when you think about it, doesn't make sense. Because who's in charge of the queue? Who's in charge of the queue, and who determines what number comes up first? Right? Because that's the skewed understanding that we have of God, which is the thing that religion then presents. So we have this microwave expectations that we have. We not just know that God had mimi kesho Mungu ataniremember. Iko siku itajipa. For me to have gotten here because of religion, I used to think that I got here because God put me here. I got here because I did the work. There's so many times as a public speaker that I wasn't paid. And even in those days, I would look back and come back because of religion. It will make me go back and say, but God came through for me. The fuck no. I stayed hungry for so many days. I can't tell you the number of times. I think if I can count back, 9 times I have been evicted from my 9.
9 times have been
evicted. 9 times I've been evicted from my house. Over the span of me being a public speaker, because I'm self-trained. Like I didn't have the money in the beginning to hire someone to pay to go to a public speaking class. Because there's so many times I would go somewhere to speak. I remember the first time I was paid was, by the way, the first person I was paid with was a judge. Hey. The first time I was paid was this guy. I used to go to so many places, churches. I would go and ask to speak to youth. To the youth in church, because you see, as you're starting out as a public speaker, I learned this from the great Vusit and Choir. And he used to say that, as you're starting out, you don't want to factor in the pay so much, just factor in doing the work and honing the skill. So I figure the only way I can measure myself as an incredible speaker is to start small where the consequences is very small. So I would go to churches, to schools, primary schools, high schools, and say, I'm a speaker, motivational speaker, and
Yes.
and in schools, usually they pay even 5,000, but most of the time now you go to these government schools, they don't have the budget for it, so you speak for free. And I'd go to churches, you speak for free, unaenda upata fare, now umefika huko umesweat. But I used to go because I wanted to test my ability to speak. Have I qualified?
Yes.
And I remember I used to do that so much in churches. There are so many big churches that invited me to go and speak. I remember there's this I went to a TV station here. I was invited for an interview. I went, and then there was a guy, a producer. He was behind he was the host. So he's a youth leader in a church. So akaniambia, by the way, I host my youth on Saturdays. It's an SDA church. No, it's just a kawaida church. So he says, but we meet.
SDAs are not kawaida church.
They don't meet on Saturday because we met on the day that's not a day of worship.
Okay.
We don't meet on the day. We didn't meet because the two guys that I've met, so one of them is SDA and one of them is not.
Okay.
So because there's one who I had to meet them on a Sunday because they're SDA, and there's one I had to meet on Saturday because they're not.
Yes.
Yeah. So because I can't meet them on the day of worship. So this guy, I think, was an SDA, so we met on the Sunday, which was not a day of worship for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to speak with the youth.
Yes.
So I go there, meet the expect to do. I know they're not going to pay me. This is kawaida. They just told me come. So it was some church in Kayole. So I went to Kayole and nikapambana na hizo forward. I got there. Got there, did my thing. After the service was done, so what I remove offering at a offering. Do you know after I was leaving, he said bye. He came and took the basket. Akamwaga yote na akanipea.
What?
Yes. Akamwaga hiyo offering yote alafu akanipea, akaniambia, this is the best I could do. Thank you for coming. I don't have money to pay you. Thank you for coming. That was the first time I was paid. I was so I did not expect. Saili naenda hivi. Tumemaliza watu wamedisperse, nimeongea na a few people who have come to say hi to me. Akanimwagia kuja tuna offering basket yote. Na akanini hivi akamwaga hapo na akaniambia chukua uende hata tujehesabu. You just go with it. I was shocked. I was very shocked. Now those are the days that I remember, right?
How much was it?
Okay,
It's okay.
It was good money. And that was the first time, right? But prior to that, I had stayed hungry. There are so many times my own family members were telling me, why are you doing in this public speaking thing? You are a corporate trainer. You're a finance person. You should go get a job. If you can work and you can be paid very good money, why are you doing this? Every time we are struggling to bail you out of your rent arrears and school fees issues for your child and the rest of it, right? And so when I look back, I understand that that's process. You see, it's devoid of God. It's me just paying the price of what it means to function here. You see, for me to have been a girl today, I can't tell you that there has been a hand of God or whatever. I am going through the phases that as a woman I'm supposed to go through the phases. My pain during pregnancy was not less than that of any woman. My period pains are not less than that of any woman. My body stretches, and it has stretched in places where it's supposed to stretch, not any different than any other woman, because that's the process in life as a woman. Sure. And I took the same time of months that people took because that's what I'm supposed to take to have my baby. Maybe a couple of days, few weeks, give and take, or give or take, right? So even when it comes to life, it's the same thing. It's process. And for me, my thought is there is a creator, or there is an infinite intelligence, an infinite spirit. But he doesn't give a fuck about us. You see, when
I feel like he doesn't care if
and not caring like in a bad way, like it has left us, because everything we need has been given. God gave me billions of neurons so that I don't have to ask him, should I go to WAB session or not? I don't have to pray about it. It's a decision that I have to sit with myself and do your fucking research. Go on his page, check him out. Do you think he's someone that you need to be on his podcast? Then make the decision. That's it. I don't need to pray about it. And then make the discernment, because that is a skill that I've been given that needs to be honed. So God created everything, put the intelligence here, and left. That's why we can blow each other to smithereens. We can destroy this earth if we wanted to. It doesn't matter. We're not the only planet. You know, we usually think like we're the only ones out here.
Yeah, so many people think that way.
Yes, we only think that we're the only. This planet can disappear. It can fall off from the galaxy, from the 9 planets. Is it 8 planets? Have you ever thought about that? It can disappear. We can decide to be just as empty as Venus. It does nothing to the universe, to everything that is up there. But usually we think that we are the most superior and we are the only ones
The
out
most
here.
important.
We're the most important.
Yeah.
That like there's this God that created everything, the stars, the moon. You say when you look outside.
When we look at the galaxy and the
Yes.
500 galaxies
Yes.
that exist, yes, we haven't been there. Personally, I've never been there. But if that is the knowledge and vastness of
Yes.
the universe,
then why do
then
we
we are
think
so-
that God anashughulika na wewe na njaa yako? Look at when the stars come out. When the stars come out, that is what when we went to school, we're told those stars, they're like suns.
yeah.
They are far away, but they're like suns. And zinakuwa zimejaa kwa sky hivi. Zimejaa kwa sky
The
hivi.
distance is so huge.
It's so huge.
Like you have to count it in light years.
And that's how
The
it looks.
distance that the light covers in a year.
So and that's why you
For each
think
1 kilometer.
that God who created that and is maintaining that to make sure that tomorrow the sun comes up and this thing does not fall off from where we are, that it continues to orbit, is concerned about who I sleep with. Is concerned about who I sleep with. It's like ants. You see the ants and the way they build very nice houses. You at very nice ant hill. Ant hill kazuri hivi. Those ants, they're small. They think that we look at that and they're like, oh my God, this is so magnificent. It's beautiful artwork. Yes, we are.
Unajua Burj Khalifa?
Yes. And they think, and then they think that we care. Those ants might think that we care about that beauty and we don't even remember. We don't remember that those ants have families and some of them are screwing each other. We don't care.
Yes,
and that is how big.
You find another one coming next to your kitchen and you kill it. Yet it was coming to fetch money fetch food for the entire family.
Exactly. So my question is, what if we are the same like ants out here? What if we are the same like those ants? We think that what we do out here matters. In this life we're living, we're living like those ants. They have built a life, they have built families, they have routine, they have things that they're doing. So can you imagine? Now look at how insignificant we are in the grand scheme of things for us to even think that we have the answers to everything. For us to, you see, one thing I understand, and I like now that we are getting into this topic, one thing I like about African practice or African spirituality, one thing I like about it, and I'm not saying that it's the best out there, but one thing I like about it is that we don't dare explain God. Tell me any African community you know that explains God. I'll wait. There's none.
None.
Because it is beyond comprehension, which I agree with. Because when you look at the mystery of the universe, it is mysterious for exactly that matter that you cannot be able to fathom and even explain it. So if you cannot explain what you can see, how are you so definite about what you cannot see? How can you say that Nangami and Wabs are here because God intended? How can you be so sure of God that you have not seen, have never met, have no proof of? You cannot explain to me how you and I get to sleep together and we create a baby. How that whole process, an intelligent being that arises from that, how that happens, how in you specifically as you come, where ukishazaliwa tu hivi, the body already knows this one is a man, sperm, this one is a girl, ovaries. Intellectually, the body knows. How are you able to tell it? And it does that without missing. You can't explain what you can see. We have not yet explored the extent of the earth. The ocean, wanasemanga kuna ocean and an ocean.
Oh, under the ocean there's another
There's another ocean. That hata watu hawajaifika. That we can't even get. Kama kwa Titanic watishindwa kufika huku waitoe. People can only dive and and it takes a lot of work to do that. We can't explain the marine life yenye kutu uko ndani. But we think we have the capacity to explain the one that brought all of this mystery. That which you're seeking does not want to be found.
Yeah.
You are told to seek, but you're seeking that which does not want to be found. That is why we have 46,000 gods. Because that which human beings are seeking does not want to be found. If God wanted to be found, the same way mimi nikiamka tu hivi najua huyu ni mwanaume. Wewe unajua tu umeona boobs uni dem. Okay, most of the time because watu wanaweka. Hata wanaume wanaweka. Hata wanaume wanaweka. You know mwanaume anaweka.
I hope you
No, but there are masculine men who nowadays wanaweka boobs, then they look like girls completely, like a man can transform into a girl.
We're not talking about
I was
this.
talking about that. I can tell ini chuma. But it's obvious. So if a God was obvious, there wouldn't be need for there to be so many explanations of God. And I think the reason why we are having this conversation is because we don't know. I think the genuine conversation should be, we don't know.
Yeah.
And for me, I am here in this world. I don't know for how long. Maybe I have lived most of my life already. And what is left ahead of me is very short. I'm going to live that life, not bothering myself with that which is beyond me. I'm going to focus and I'm going to concern myself with living a fulfilling life, with living a meaningful life, and living an impact. And then that which needs to take care of itself, it will.
Yeah.
It will take care of itself.
Yes.
So for me, I appreciate the African part. We have an absent God. And you see, if you're coming from a religious perspective, it's a very uncomfortable answer.
Absent or invisible is a present
Absent.
God, but
Absent.
okay.
Absent God in the sense that it does not interfere.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So God is absent. Like, that is why, you see, hizi vitu za, mwanaume hawezi lala na mwanamke. Mwanaume hawezi lala na mwanaume. Mwanamke hawezi lala na mwanaume. Hizo ni vitu zenye tumejiwekea.
Oh, so
those are rules that we put ourselves. Hii mambo ya kusema sisi tunanuanga meno, sisi tunatairi, sisi tunakata wasichana, sisi hatukati. Sikuna wenye wanakata na kuna wenye hawakati. Umeona Mungu akiintervene? Ni watu wenyewe waamue waseme hatukati. Tumeamua hatukata. Tumeamua tumewacha kukata.
If you want this community to stop, you just come and lobby at them, man.
Because at the end of the day, we are the ones who make the rules.
Yeah.
We're the ones who make the rules. It's not so that is why in Africa God does not intervene. Sasa sisi ndio tutasema, kama mimi I come from a community wamesema, mama mko hawezi salimiana na mama. Mother-in-law cannot shake hands with the son-in-law. Okay. Daughter-in-law cannot shake hands with the mother-in-law, with the father-in-law. Those are things that we came up with as Africans, and we can change them anytime.
Yeah.
We can wake up tomorrow and say, actually, no, you can hug your mother-in-law. There's no problem. You can hug your father-in-law. There's no problem. There are communities that do it, and there are communities that don't. Right? Because we are the ones who come with the rules, not God. You see, it is religion, and especially the Abrahamic religions, that God interferes. In Abrahamic religions, God interferes in your life. He's able to tell you, dress this, go here, don't pick this goal, don't find your kid is there. God intervenes. In the Abrahamic religions, which are only 3. 1. 2, religious people, and especially Christians, usually are lied to believe that they are the majority when they are the minority. In the population, Christianity is only 36% of the global population. For your Christian, 36%.
36%. I thought that Muslim is 1%. And Buddhists are covering the other.
Christians ni 36%. Na kwa 36% wenye wamehesabu, kumbuka wamenihesabu mimi na wewe. Wenye ni Wakristo jina. Na kabisa hapa. Wametuhesabu wenye sisi tulizaliwa tukisema tukatik Christian. We're talking about consecrated. Kwa hivyo kama sahi kuna category wanaenda heaven. Tuanze kupaka mzigo. Tuanze kupaka mzigo.
Tuanze kuweka.
Tuko huko kwa heaven. 36%. 36%, and then the following is Islam. I think Islam is 17%. Or 17% of the global population, then followed by Judaism, Judaism has, I think, less than 10% or something of the sort. I think 11% or something of the
So
sort.
like Buddhists and
So
Buddhists,
Rastafarians, nini au wote wako kwa hizi
I'm really
others.
interested to know this culture of Rastafarian.
Yes. Well, tuko kwa hizi others. So you see, it's the 3 Abrahamic religions, and all of these Abrahamic religions have been sent to the world through force.
Okay.
I have created videos long enough, and maybe you will tell me when my time on this thing is up. But usually people say, "Oh, then Yahweh, the God of the Christian, is powerful because he was able to defeat our gods, and so that means that Yahweh is powerful," and that is lies. And you see, let me tell you.
But they tell us about
and
this
I'm going to be very political about it. It makes me sad when it's a man who says such a thing. Because when it's a man who says such a thing, I'm like, you're supposed to be high on intelligence, man. You can't be a man and dumb. Like I can appreciate a dumb girl. I don't appreciate dumb men.
You can forgive. You can forgive. You see, women, by the way, we don't have that liberty to be forgiven for being dumb.
For being dumb, yes. Thank you. You don't have the liberty to be. How can
as
you
in
be
the
dumb?
world is so cruel. They just have to be.
Because for you to say that our gods were we were colonized and we accepted religion because it is the Christian God who won, when it is machine. It is the gun that spoke.
Yes, indeed.
It was not a right of the gods. These people came first of all as explorers. Wakuja wakasurvey. Wakasurvey mtaa, wakaona gold iko huku, diamond iko huku, nini iko huku, wakasema kwanza watu wanavaanga saizo. Watu wanatembea mguu chuma, wanaongea kwa miti, wanasimama wanaongelesha mti. Wanakaa kama baboon, wanakaa kama monkeys. Then they took back the message. They took back the message.
But even when they were taking the message, how did we treat them? Who are we?
You see, the thing that put us where we are today was our kindness. And I've said this before.
So we were so kind to
our
them.
Spirituality worked. There are so many communities in Kenya, in Zululand, in Nigeria, so many places where priests, priestesses, they went to kings and said, trouble is coming.
Oh,
there's a white. You remember reading it in your history? They
Yes.
said there's someone who looks like an albino who is coming.
Yes.
There's
And they'll
someone.
do this
Yes,
and this.
they're coming with sticks that produce
Fire. Yes.
Or they're going to build a snake that is going to come from Mombasa to Busia.
Yes.
And it happened for 200 years. Once 200. The warning did not. Africans were not ambushed.
Yes.
The message was there, but the people who came initially were what? Explorers. Walikuja wakatembea tena, walikuja na magifts. Wakakuja na gunpowder, wakakuja sijui na nini.
So now, so these are the people who were anticipating.
Yes.
When they came,
yes,
they
didn't look like it.
They didn't look like what we were told.
Yes, they didn't look like the fighters. They didn't look like the warriors.
Okay.
So they came with things. So the kings wakaanza kuona tuwapatie ivory, unanipea nini? Nakupea nini, unanipea nini? The Africans used to take ivory, they used to take gold and load it on ships. True or false when you do the history? The ships for the white men.
Yes.
Kama gift, king amesema load the ships. They were loading the ships with things that were being taken back to Britain. Then the second batch of people who came were what? Missionaries. And they came with a small book and said, wait. But you see, when they came, the missionaries came, this is where the trouble began. The first thing that people did, especially when the missionaries came, was to do what? If you accepted, what were you supposed to do? The first thing you're supposed to do is to get rid of naming. You dropped everything. We had our own naming ceremonies. The people who had their ceremonies 8 days after. Do you know what a naming ceremony was? 4. A naming ceremony, the priests will come during a naming ceremony. Wanaangalia mtoto amezaliwa ni kama wabs. Wanaangalia, wanafanya hizo divination zao. Nasema huyu mtoto asikanyage rive. Huyu asiende karibu na rive. Huyu asifanye hivi na hivi. Usimfanye hivi. Mupatie ini. Ataenda akue ABCD. That's what it was done. Jina unapatia, unaambia huyu amezaliwa Sunday. Mama yake alikufa. Akimzaa ABCD. Tunampea hii jina. Wabs akilia, pana. Huyo nyanya amekataa. Huyo babu amekataa hiyo jina. Tutafute jina ingine. Tunampea jina.
Yes.
So that was alignment to what was purpose.
Yes.
Africans, we were not rich, but we were also not poor. By the time the Europeans were coming to Africa, we were never poor. We were not rich, like in the context of capitalism.
Yes.
But like Joshua Maponga likes to explain it. Saizi, mimi ni Mluya.
I've been listening to Maponga, by the way.
Mimi mtoto wangu
a philosopher, nice.
He's good, he understands it. When my child was circumcised, hey, mtoto wangu akona nishinda bwana. Naona sijui akona kang'ombe mbele anasemanga ng'ombe yangu. Hata nikikia ng'ombe yangu inaendelea. Mimi sina ng'ombe bwana. He's already, as a man, getting into, he was given his the boys who took care of him. Oh my God, when my son was circumcised the traditional way, I told him, now this is you going back to your roots. Because when he was circumcised, obviously I did take him to it. His father is not in the country. His father doesn't live in the country. So his uncle from his father's side had to step in. And I had only to take him there. The uncle organized of how he was taken there. Now they're coming back. Hata kama was good. I'm happy. Because when he came back, he was received by boys who had already gone through the practice themselves.
Yes.
So they're the ones who receive him. They are grown boys. Take him to a particular room. So they're the ones who will feed him. Not even his uncle. They're the ones who feed him. So the girls will prepare food, but they're the ones who have to make sure his breakfast, his lunch, his dinner is delivered. If he has any pain, they're the ones who come and check. The doctor, yes, but they're the ones who check him.
That's the same age group, or
no?
A little older.
Yes, the ones who are older. So it's like they're the ones who are initiating him now into that boyhood and manhood thingy. So he felt good, he felt nice. And then after he was done kutoka huko jandoni, now when they were offering him to the ancestors from his father's side, to accept him, now he has gone through the initiation and the process and whatnot. I felt that was good, and that is something that would never leave him. You would ask what's the impact, you'd ask what's the meaning of that, but as a man it maketh him that identity of knowing that, hey man said, hey me Mkisi, me Mluya, you get and that roots. Because we are not disconnected from our roots. And anybody who has a question about ancestors, and I am sorry for people who think that their ancestors left them poverty. I feel sorry for those people. Because you are not taught what you're supposed to be taught. I met a lady, her name is Debbie Rono. Debbie is huge. Debbie is a tank.
That's in terms of size or intellect?
Size.
Or size.
Like, yes, because I'm a pungwa, but she's a tall, huge, like she's a huge girl. So now that she's losing weight, she looks very lean and nice.
Okay.
But she's a huge, she's a tank. No, not huge. Flat foot, nini. No.
She's a lotto tank.
Yes, she's a tank. And I'm not saying like fat. I'm saying she's huge. She's huge. Yeah. When I say huge, I mean Jeff Koinange. You know, Jeff Koinange is a tank. Like when you meet the guy, it's like when he steps into a room, you know, there's a different man here.
Yes.
That's how she is. So I said, look at yourself. What did you do to gain that body? He said, nothing. You were born with it. Yes. Do you know that there are people in your lineage who are like that? She says, yes. Who? My grandmother. They were like that. So I said, do you think you woke up like that, or someone transferred that to you? It was transferred in the bloodline, right? Yeah. When she's dark, very flawless. Really dark, flawless. I said, look at me. Me skincare routine in animalism. Just to achieve that flawless skin that you have, that comes to you naturally.
You mean me?
Debbie. I was saying to Debbie now.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Because she has a flawless, she's dark. Hata wanao mnakuanga flawless. This is tuko na 10 steps skincare routine. So I was saying this to her. I said, so how did you get that? It came to you. Now you don't have to work. Some of us have to spend money to get. You come from people who run, right? So most of you from the community can run, and yes, it's hard work. You have to go train, yada yada yada. But it runs in the community. Yes. We know that you're the people who majority of you do the long distance, even short distance. Yes. The ones who do it because it runs in the bloodline. It runs in the community. It runs from your people, right? That's your ancestors. That's them leaving things in the bloodline for you to take. So they have left. For me, my gift of gab, I'd say this. I'm very easy when it comes to grasping language. That's why unaweza TikTok nashika language haraka nimeimba.
I saw you singing patwa.
Yes, I can
nice.
sing. That is that I have. That's intelligence that I have. Imetoka wapi? Ni wanyanya wangu na wazazi na wakuka wangu ndio waliniachia in the bloodline. Now that is something that I can use for money. Kuna watu who I had a client, a public speaking client. She has her grandmother was raised in South Africa. And so she was born as a result of I don't know, but I want to say, you see, apartheid South Africa, so the blacks were not allowed to mix with the white. But now the grandmother was a result of that, a black man and a white man, which was mostly outlawed. So because of that, as this her great grandmother, when she was born, because she was as a result of black and white coming together, she had to be put. Unajua kwa ukipata umeza wewe mwanamke umeza mtoto na anakuja kwa biracial, you have to give them up for adoption to a children's home. So she had to be raised in a children's home because she was a result of that scene. And when she was raised in this missionary thingy orphanage, so she was brought to Kenya on mission, and she came here to Kenya, worked with, and then she fell in love with a cameraman, and now they ended up having their family here. And this girl is beautiful. This girl looks biracial. She has that soft hair, that light skin. I said, you took it from your great-great-grandmother. It has still flown through to you today. So, why would you sit and say you have nothing to do with your ancestors when you are everything your ancestors are? You see, that's the conversion that we are not taught, and it doesn't make sense.
Sure.
Even if you don't know them, you are everything they are.
Yeah.
Everything they are. My legs, that's my dad's legs.
Okay.
My beautiful legs. My father has very beautiful. I don't even have beautiful legs. My father has good, beautiful legs. My father and my sister.
Your father has beautiful legs?
Yes. My father has beautiful legs.
How is your father having?
My father has beautiful. You see these legs that I have. When you know NANGAMI, you have good nice. Mama, babangu ana miguu za wanaume yenye wanazidi kwa lazima kuembe sijui peka hivi. That's what I'm saying. Kwa mwanaume inaweza kuwa ni shida, but he has got girl legs. You see the way a girl's legs are built.
Lazima ikae ngumu kama hizo zetu.
Sasa sijui kuembe sijui kuna muscles sijui. No, my father has got very nice, slender, very nice legs. And my sister took after that. Me hata nawaangalia nasema mimi yake mbona sikupata, people tell me you have beautiful legs. I'm like, I've not seen my father's legs. Mimi nasikia kwa babangu ningekuwa navaa short nakumbuka ni mzee. Nakumbuka ni mwanaume. Vaa short. Those are I think maybe he got them from ataka weird. But we were raised in Mombasa. Imagine. So you see, and maybe he took that from his mother.
Yeah.
Could have taken that from his mother. You see, you can't take that away from yourself. Some of us have got very, pretty boys. Na hiyo ni wamechukua kutoka sasa watafanya aje? Wafanya aje? Unajua kuchukua sura nguvu ya baba yao.
Sura personal.
Wamechukua sura ya mother inakaa somehow. But those are the things that, so I'm saying that I took that from my dad. This thin body that I have, me kula. I'm the most unhealthy person you meet. People because I have a jini yangu si there. I'm unhealthy but si there. Sasa hivi niko hivi nimefura.
So sasa hivi umeona mbaya.
Sasa mimi najuanga nimenona na tumbo. Nikiona tumbo hivi najua nangapi nimenona. But we extract huku from huku. This is my grandmother. My grandmother had a very...
But even myself I'm taking from my dad. So see mimi hata ni kunyweliando. Mimi vitu
you see,
so hata nikosa kwenda gym but sidhani kama
unaweza mbali sana. Na kuna wale watu tu wakinusa tu hivi wameshafura. Wakinusa tu hivi wameshafura. You see, and my sister took a lot from my mother's side. So my sister akona mwili kwa kina madhe au ni watu wakona, kifua iko. Hata mimi naangalia sana na ili nipita mimi shoki kamwendea legs.
Yeah.
Tu majegi nazo zipita zikaenda. You see, and we are from the same family, and it goes beyond the physical. It even goes to our characters. To our characters. Mimi kuna tutabia niko nato naitwa mzai. Tuingine tubaya pia.
Nini hizo?
Tutabia. Nanitwa Masai, nanitubai.
This is not what you're thinking.
Niko na tabia pia twa maadhe nanitubaya. Right?
Yeah.
So we are an amalgamation of our ancestors. And I think that is easier for us to venerate because there are people who actually walked. There are people who actually lived, as compared to us looking onto something that is you can't explain. That's what I was telling you. Religion is very dangerous because it distracts us from the concept of process. So right now, you have put in the work, and I'm so sure, Wabs, you have been through hell and back. I'm so sure, like every other human being, you have paid your price.
Absolutely.
You have had to be resilient.
Yeah,
you have had to be patient. You have learned how to not depend on people, to depend on yourself. There are certain places where the trenches you have gone to, and only you could take you out of that place. But you get to the end of this, and then you say, I couldn't have gotten here without God. It was all you. That's process. You see, because religion teaches you to expend effort. There's no place for human effort in religion. There's no place for human effort. Wewe ukinipigia simu, I can assure you, mimi nakuwa hakuna Mungu ameniongelesha nikuja hapa. So don't usiseme ati God made me meet Nangami, she picked my call and she came to the show. That was all me. That was all me. There was no divine intervention. There's nothing that spoke to me. Do you know how many people I've turned down? This is the first podcast by a man that I've gone on to. You know me, I don't go on male podcasts.
You know.
Yeah, I came here to this one. Me. That's all me. There was no divine intervention.
Thank you
There's
so
no
much.
situation that I do. No, I don't. That's all me. I decided to come here.
Yeah.
And this is why would you say that? I don't know, maybe I like it. Maybe I just checked you out. I was like, I kind of like this one. I want to be on this platform.
Yeah.
Right? So that's effort. So wewe ukitoa effort yangu, useme Nangami alikuja kwa podcast yangu ja Mungu, unatoka away my effort. Yenye mimi nimeachana vitu zangu, nimeachana my day, nimekuja kwa hapa. There's nothing that has made me be here, even up until this time. That's all me. So you see, when you do that, you're stealing away from my own volition.
Yes.
So much as you want to praise your God that has allowed us to have this day and for us to be here, you're taking away my part because I don't believe in your God. That means that your God is working against my will. Why did he make me want to be here when I don't go on male podcasts? Why did he make me do something that I don't want to do? Why is he doing that without my free will?
Yeah.
Why is he making me do things that I don't want to do? That is force. That is very wrong. So you see how it doesn't make sense? Yeah. I'm not saying that God is evil. I'm just saying, do you see how it doesn't make sense in the grand scheme of things?
The narrative that is sold out.
Yes, that is sold. So that's human effort. Like I usually say, there's a video that I said, someone goes to the hospital, the doctors do all they can.
I saw that video as well.
The doctors do everything they can. Alafu mtu anatoka huko anasema manze, hey, Mungu amemponya. And there are doctors who went manze midnight. You've watched medical series. Midnight. Wanaangalia vitabu, wanarudi kwa books. The doctor cannot sleep. Wakes up the next day is consulting numerous neurosurgeons. Why would a God want to heal you and also make people go through all that trouble? Well, wasn't it supposed just to be direct? Even when people say, oh, Nangami, just say these prayers and God will heal you, be healed in the name of Jesus. Take that to the hospital. Go and give those prayers to each and every person and tell them, by the way, say this prayer and then you're healed in Jesus' name. It's ineffective. People just say these things because that's what you're trained to do. It's ineffective. When you fall sick today, call me. I will put a prayer for you. If not, the first thing you will do is to go to the hospital. The first thing if you realize, hey, because God created, and that is why God has given us the mind to be able to figure out, or the infinite creator, figure out these things. What is disturbing you? Someone gets into your brain, figures out what this issue is, goes into your blood, figures out issues is, and then they give the problem. Right now, we don't have a cure for cancer, but maybe 100 years from today, the cure is going to be there. And it's not because God would have given people the cure for cancer. It's because human beings will go into research until they hack it. Slavery existed for 400 years and God didn't do shit about it. You know why? Because it was started by humans and it was stopped by fucking humans. It wasn't intervened. 400 years when people overdo. And then the Africans, that's why I say I usually get pissed off when it's a man who's peddling this dumb stuff. When a man says that, oh, we were colonized and we went through slavery because God was mad at us because we were doing idol worship. The fuck God was speaking to the Israelites alone. How our ancestors supposed to know he existed when he was only speaking to the Israelites? So how would they have known he existed? The only time that they were supposed to know he existed, they were put in chains.
Yeah.
The next time they know about it, this idol worship, ndio wameshaweka kwa minyororo. Israelites had fucking 1,500 years. The Bible took 100,500 years to be written. Hii kitabu yenye mko nayo kadogo hivi. So that means that there's a lot of stuff you don't know.
True.
1,500 years it is written. They had grace for 1,500 years. The first thing these people land on the ship, they get here, washatweka kwa chains. Oh, nyinyi muna worship idols, sasa Mungu amewapunish. And then that's why I tell you I hate it when it's a man who's peddling that lie. And by the way, we talk about, do you know how people, do you know that the white man used to make leather using African skin? Leather.
African human skin.
Yes. Hey. The African kids were fed to alligators. Wako na alligator farms. Fish farms feed. Alligator farms, they take Negro babies, they feed them to the alligators. Kama venye unaendanga kupelekea simba chakula. They used to take. I talked about a story of this lady, I've forgotten the name. This girl, it's not even long ago. I think it's 1894.
Yes.
1894. Recently, Jews used to slavery in question. This girl was, guess what? 18. This man owned, I've forgotten her name. I wish I was able to get the name. I've forgotten her name. This girl was pregnant. Her husband, there was a man who used to own a plantation. Now, this man, the rich men would own the plantation, then they would employ the poor men, white men, to be the foremen for those plantations. So the poor white men were the ones who were in charge of the Negroes. So this foreman dies, and he was a brutal foreman. Umeangalia story ya Kunta Kinte? You've watched Roots? Hey, you've watched Roots? You've watched Roots? Eh?
Yeah.
Roots?
Yes.
Roots is horrible.
Directors.
Yes. So say your Toby. How they hit him. Just because of saying his name. This whole back, Lutanyama, whipped just so he can accept the name Toby, and his name was Kunta Kinte. But I find, because I'm like, men are the ones who are supposed to be pissed off, because this